Hello and welcome back to Internal Life, where change starts with the inner man. Today's video will correspond with the video pertaining to the different types of naysayers you will encounter when venturing out to accomplish any goals. Before I get started, I'm usually not one to name names, but in this case I'll make an exception. I want to give a shout out to prominent YouTubers Black Ram 313 and Sean James for subscribing to me, and it means a whole lot to me. It really does. And now on with the show. Everyone's different in terms of how they respond to these different types of detractors or naysayers, but I think a lot of times you have to move in silence or at least be very selective in terms of who you tell your plans or aspirations to. One reason is I don't think one should tell everyone everything everyone is thinking. I just don't think that's wise. For instance, what coach in his right mind would publicly announce his game plan to his opponent? I mean, he might give a general idea to the public what he wants to do, but he's not going to tell you what plays he's called it exactly. Likewise, Burger King is not going to announce any ideas they have in advance to McDonald's and vice versa. When it comes to content and concepts, I think this method is applicable because you run into the possibility of taking of someone taking your intellectual property and trying to put their name on it. For example, the Burger King and McDonald's example that I used before. This can happen regardless, but you make your work an easy target when you announce it in advance, particularly if the work is not complete. The other reason is based off the different types of detractors you will come across that I mentioned in the beginning. Based off my experience, and I'm sure there are others who have experienced this as well, I know I'm not the only one, but once again, I'm speaking based mostly on my personal experiences. So with that being said, typically when I set out to do things, more often than not, I'm met with opposition. Not that I'm afraid of their disapproval, but I know where they're coming from already, so it makes no sense to mention it to them. I'm going for it whether they approve or not. I wasn't thinking about them when I made the decision to begin with. And it also keeps me from replying to them in a certain way, so it's just best that I make my moves and keep moving forward. So with that, I'll wrap this video up. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been Internal Life, where change starts with the inner man. And I will see you next time.